So we're gonna start in a kneeling position in tabletop. First 30 seconds is just gonna be some cat and cow, just to kind of get our spine warmed up and our central nervous system on board. So wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, and then round your back. And you're gonna take this at a depth that feels right to you. So if you're working with any osteo stuff, osteoporosis, osteopenia, make it smaller and less big arching of the spine. Think about more of an elongation of the spine just to create a little space in the vertebrae. All right, we got 5 seconds left here. And then especially if you're not wearing shoes, you've got bare feet, curl your toes under, and we're just gonna take a little stretch to the toes and a little movement in the knees and the shoulder joint. So pull your butt back to your heels and then just rock yourself forward and back. If this is a no-go for your feet, release your toes and just leave that part off. Think of it just more of a hip hinge and a bend of the knees and a little movement in the shoulders. Nice, we got 10 seconds left. Hi, Liz, good morning, Liz. And time, awesome. Now, the next 30 seconds is gonna be just the right arm. And this is the place where if you want that added little bit of resistance, you're gonna plant your hand on the end of your resistance band. And then as you reach your hand up, you're gonna pull your TheraBand. And then as you reach your hand through, you're gonna get a little pull there. So reaching your arm up nice and high and then threading it through just as far as your body rotates. So you don't need to force it, but we're just bringing a little bit of mobility into the thoracic spine, a little stretch through the shoulder. And then if you want that added resistance, you're just gonna take your TheraBand with you. We got 10 seconds left on this side. All right, and switch. Now, if you're using your resistance band, just place it underneath your palm and then take it to the other side. So your hand's gonna lift up, stretch with the TheraBand, reach through, and keep your hand planted on the band. But otherwise, if you're just working mobility, leaving off the resistance, reach up as high as you can, thread through as deep as you can. 20 seconds left. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Now we're staying in this tabletop position, moving right into a bird dog. So it's going to be left hand, right leg reaching out, pull it back in, left leg, right hand reaches out, pull it back in. And then in between those two maneuvers, take a little tricep push-up. Bend your elbows towards your ribs, lower your chest down, press your way back up, and then right back to that bird dog. So extend opposite hand, opposite foot, pull it in, other side, pull it in, bend your elbows towards your ribs, push your way back up nice and strong. So in that in between, when you're doing that little tricep push up, we just want to see if we can keep the eyes of the elbows rotated towards the top edge of your mat. Bend your elbows toward your ribs, just your chest lowers down. Beautiful, you guys, nice work. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, next up, we're gonna take it into some lunge for mobility. So if you like, just have your weights nearby because we'll use it for the second minute of work, but start by stepping your right foot forward into a nice low lunge position. First 20 seconds here, we're just leaning into that front knee and then pushing our way back. So we're just working a little bit of hip mobility, a little knee mobility, and some ankle mobility. So you're taking your knee slightly past your toes if it's available in your range of motion. And we're just keeping that knee straight forward for about 5 more seconds. All right, now we're gonna toe heel it out about 45 degrees. So think about toe heeling your legs so that it's about at the front angle of your mat or the front corner of your mat, and then back to that bend and straighten. So you're just gonna lean in, let your knee go slightly past your toes, totally safe, finding that little bit of stretch in the ankle joint. 10 more seconds here. All right, now from here, we're gonna toe heel it out to the side. So you're gonna go out as wide as you can, and then back to that lean in, and then push yourself back out. And then especially here, just make sure you're just staying at a side angle that works best for you. Everybody's gonna have different external rotation in the hips, and you're gonna get a little stretch in the inner thigh, maybe in the groin, a little stretch to the knee, and down in the ankle again. Okay, now if you can keep that leg out there, we're gonna take it right into a bicep curl. So we're gonna take the elbow to the inside of the inner thigh, and you're gonna kind of wedge your elbow against that inner thigh. So we're gonna keep the leg active, and then we're just adding that bicep curl. So we're gonna try and keep the elbow off the top of the knee in front of the inner thigh so we get that full range of motion. Pull that weight up to your shoulder and then lower it with control. Nice, you guys, beautiful. And then that leg is nice and solid, so we're not wobbling all over the place, and we're finding all that good work right up in the arm. Nice stability, Helen. Man, you guys look good. Yes. 30 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Lift yourself on up. Set that leg down if you can. Shake out your bum. But we got to take those lunges to the other side. So you're going to step your left foot forward, straight out in front. And then right away, we're taking it into that lean in. So we're going to push into that front knee and then push your way back with control. We got 20 seconds working just straight through the front of that lunge. All right, now we're going to toe heel it out to that 45 degrees. So think finding that corner of your mat, and then away we go, leaning in and pushing yourself away. Awesome. And now we're going to take it out to the side. So you're going to toe heel it out just as wide as your leg externally rotates, and then lean yourself out and pull yourself back in with control. Beautiful. Ten seconds left. And time. Awesome. Now grab your hand weight, elbow to the inside of the inner thigh. So it's not on top of the thigh, it's in front of that inner thigh. And we get that full range of motion. We're pulling that weight up to the shoulder and then lowering it all the way down. And then everything else stays nice and stable. So the legs are active and engaged. So we're not wobbling all over the place. Nice, you guys, beautiful, stable positions. Already halfway there. Five seconds left. So we have 2 more minutes of kneeling position. So if at this point your knees have gotten fatigued and you need to double cushion your mat or anything like that, take a second to do that. But we're back to our kneel, but we're going to be in a high kneel, both knees on the ground. And then we're going to start to pass our weight around our back. So a sideways handhold might work best so you can catch hold of the ends. And then we want to see if we can find most of our motion coming out of the shoulders. So a nice big reach passing around. Make sure you have your handhold so you're not going to drop your weight. And then once you've got that down, especially if you're working with a lighter weight, you can start to pick up the pace. But we just want to make sure that you're getting a good solid handhold so that you're not going to drop your weight on the backs of your legs. All right, now switch directions and pass around the other way. And then once you've got that handhold working for you, pick up the pace if you're working with a lighter weight, or go a little slower if you're working with a heavier weight and you just want to be a little bit more mindful. 10 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, stay in that high kneel position. Take your weight. We're gonna do a nice close grip handhold. So it's gonna be a chest press, but with one single weight or two weights, but wanna hold them close to your chest. So close together in your handhold, right out from the center of your chest, pull it back in with control. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're gonna try and think about keeping the abdominal muscles fairly pulled in. So you're gonna keep a nice stationary position from the waist down. Knees are nice and solid on the ground. And we're working through the chest, the backs of the shoulders. You might feel a little work even in your triceps as you keep that closer grip. And then just watch your head and your ribs. So if this weight is too much, you might find yourself trying to thrust the hips forward and ribs moving with you. Can you keep your belly firm, pushing straight up from the chest with control and pulling it back in? Nice, you guys, beautiful. Thirteen seconds left. And time, awesome job. Set your weight down. We're gonna take it right into some push-ups. You're choosing which version of push-up you like best. You might choose to keep your knees down, just depending on where your strength in your shoulders is at today. So start there, see how that feels, and then you'll make readjustments as needed. A nice wide position with the arms, a nice planking with the spine. So we're lowering the chest, pushing back up with control, keeping a nice broadness in the shoulders. And then if that's feeling good, but you want a little bit more, take it into that high push-up position, lifting the knees, and then finding control there. Now, if a high push-up is still something you're working on, take it into a negative. Lower down with control, bring your knees down, push your way back up, and then come back to that high plank. So choose a variation that's gonna work for you this morning. We got 20 seconds left with whatever variation you're doing. Nice, Liz, nice plank spine, woo, yes. 10 seconds left, you got this. And time, awesome job. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Take a second to just kind of sugar out your shoulders. And then we're gonna take it to the right leg. So right leg is gonna slightly abduct. So you're gonna move your leg slightly away from the inner thigh. And then we're gonna start a leg lift there. So just the right leg lifting up and lowering down. But the leg is slightly out towards the corner of your mat. So we're working into our gluteus muscles. So just make sure you feel a good squeeze in your butt as you lift that leg up and lower it with control. Already halfway there. Ten seconds left. You got this. And time. Nice job. Lower that leg down, shake out your tush, relax your butt muscles for a second, and then we got to take it to the other side. So right leg's going to walk in, left leg is going to walk out slightly. So it's going to reach towards the corner of the mat, keeping that slight abduction, and then lifting up and lowering with control. Finding that good squeeze in the glutes to find that lift. Nice, Ting. Beautiful. Good control, Karen. Nice. Already halfway there. And time. Awesome job. Lower that leg down, shake out your bum. And now we're going to walk the feet back in. So feet are going to be kind of close together, a little hugging at the inner thighs, but we're going to stay in this belly down position. Stack your hands, and then you're going to rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. You're going to keep your hands connected to the forehead as you lift up and away from the floor, and then lower back down with control. We're going to keep those hands connected to the forehead to lift up, keep them connected to lower down. And then you're just lifting and lowering at your pace, finding that work through the back of your body. So finding those muscles that run along the side of your spine, that nice good squeeze, lifting up just as high as you like, lowering it with control. And time. Awesome job. Push your way back up into a tabletop position. And now we're going to take it into a crawl. So you're going to take a variation of crawling that's going to work for you. You might start small, knees down on the ground, crawling yourself forward to the front end of your mat, and then crawling yourself backwards. Crawling is super good for our brain and for our back of our body. So you can choose to keep your knees down on the ground. That's totally an option. But if it feels like it's not quite enough work, you're going to hover your knees and keep your knees lifted as you crawl your way forward and then crawl your way back. Keep it controlled. If all of that's not working for you this morning and you're just not there today, take it into just a tabletop and a hover. Pick your knees up and lower your knees down. But if it's all feeling good, walk yourself towards the front end of your mat. Try to keep your butt down if you can. You're already halfway there. Nice, Ting. Yes. Beautiful, Karen. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. 20 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Bring your knees down. Pull your butt back to your heels. Get a little stretch to your tush before we find our way up. We're going to take our weights with us, and we're going to use our weights kind of as kickstands. So if you can, grab both of your weights, and we're going to take it into a bent over position. So step your feet up, find that little folded position, use your weights for a little bit of assist. We're going to keep those weights down on the ground, and we're going to alternate. One leg is going to lift up and then the other. We're going to try to keep a level set in the shoulders. So we're not going to try to wobble all over the place. Nice, Helen. Beautiful. Ooh, nice work, Mara. You guys are amazing. Man, great job. 20 seconds left. You got this. And time. Awesome work. Soften your knees, come up to a standing position. Take your weights with you if you like. We're going to take it right into squats. So whatever version of squats you're feeling this morning, you might opt for a hip width distance, toes and knees pointing forward, or a slightly wider position with the toes and the knees pointing out. You're going to choose the variation there that feels the best to your knees and to your hip joint. But we're just going to load our weights up at the shoulders if you're using your weights. Sit your butt down and back, and then rise back up. Nothing fancy here, just finding the work in our legs and our glutes, tops of the thighs, keeping a slight interaction or an engagement in the inner thighs, so we're just not letting those knees drop in too far or drop out too far, keeping a little bit of control in that inner thigh section. Yes, beautiful, you guys. "17 seconds left. And time. Awesome. Set one weight down. We're just going to stick with a single hand weight this time. And now we're going to still keep with a little bit of a squatting position. But if you can now, bring your feet to about hip width distance apart. We're going to hold our weight sideways. We're going to circle around the head. As you sink into a little squat, you're going to take your weight to your side hip. And then as you rise up, you're going to circle around the other way. And then sink into a little squat and take your weight to the other hip. And now the real fun game here is to find that circle, but as you take your weight to your hips are going to still stay pretty straightforward. Most of the rotation is going to come above the belly button as you reach your hands towards the side of the hip and then circle around the other way. Nice. And then you go as fast or slow as you like, making sure that we keep that squatting position. So we're setting the butt back towards the heels. Beautiful. "10 seconds left. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Shake out your legs, grab your second weight. And now we're just going to bring it back into the shoulders. So it's going to be a front shoulder raise. Lower it down out to 45 degrees. Lower it down all the way out to the side. Lower it down, add a little heel lift at the end, and then reset straight out from the front, out to 45 degrees, out to the side, and then take a little heel lift just to find that little reset. And then take it as fast or as slow as you like. Depending on the weights that you're using, if you're using heavier weights, you might opt to go just a little slower, so you're super mindful with your shoulders. But if you're using lighter weights, you might opt to fire it up a little bit and just get some extra reps in. And then if you're using lighter weights and it starts to feel like you're not getting enough work in, you can always consider picking up some heavier weights. You are super strong, so I know that you can do it. 20 seconds left. And then just check your posture here. So we want to make sure that the weight is being lifted from the shoulders and not a heft of the hips. So we want to make sure we've got good control of the weight, lifting straight up from the shoulders, out to 45, out to the side, and most of the work's coming out of the shoulders. Nice. Give everything a good shake out. We're going to stick with those weights, but now we're going to take it into a bent elbow position, and we're going to take it into a tippy toe walk. So find your way to the back edge of your mat, keep that bent elbow position, lift your heels up, and we're just tippy toe walking to the front end of the mat And then as you come to the front end of your mat, you're going to lower your heels down, reach up into a waitress carry, lift your toes and the balls of the feet, and do your heel walk to the back edge of your mat. Lift up, bend your elbows, tippy toe walk your way forward. Once you find the top of the mat, lower your heels, raise your arms, and then walk yourself back with control. You go as fast or as slow as you like. Part of the work is up in the shoulders, keeping a little bit of work in our center to maintain that balance. And then part of the work is happening the legs, the calves, the shins, and the ankles. Especially when you're doing that heel walk with the toes and the balls of the feet lifted, you're going to find a little work through the front of the shins. Nice work, you guys. And time. Woo! Lower those arms down, give them a good shake. And now we're going to take it into a nice wide position. So stick with those weights if you can. Step your feet nice and wide. We're going to sink into a little sumo squat. So think about sending your butt down. And then we're going to take like a bow and arrow pull. So you're going to pull one weight across your chest, all the way over to the other side. Take your other weight, bring it across, pull it over to the other side. So start there. Just find that nice, good rhythm, pulling one weight over and across, and then pulling it back. Once you've got that down, if you like, we're going to add on to the legs. So as you pull your weight across, you're going to pivot your back knee, take it into a little lunge, flip it around over to the other side. Knee's going to pivot, and then take it over to the other side. If that motion of the knees and the hips isn't for you this morning, leave that part off, stay with your sumo squat, work across the chest. But if it feels good to add that little pivot, just be super mindful, make sure your knee's happy about that position. Nice, you guys, beautiful. "16 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Step it up, shake it out, set your weights off to the side. And now we're just going to loosen everything up to finish back up. So we're going to take opposite hand to foot, opposite hand to foot, same hand, same foot, same hand, same foot. So in the front, we touch opposite. In the back, we touch with the same. And then just start to find a little bit of a rhythm and find a little looseness in your knee joint. Loosen up your hips. Get your heart rate up, but think of this as a little bit of a working recovery. So we're just kind of soothing it all out. All right, now for the next 30 seconds, switch it up. So same hand, same foot, same hand, same foot, opposite hand behind, opposite hand behind. Slow this down as we really start to cool it off. Nice. 10 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Even yourself out if you didn't finish. And then when you're ready, step your feet so that they're about hip or shoulder distance apart, a nice even stance. Inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend to the knees, hinge from your waist, fold down towards the ground. Hang out here in this little fold, maybe bop your knees a little side to side, rock through your hips, make sure your low back feels happy and comfortable. Awesome, and then bring it back to a more central location, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up to standing position, pat yourself on the back, See if you can catch hold of that elbow at the top, bring it in for a little stretch. And then if it feels good, take a little side bend. Awesome. Come up with control and switch, grabbing hold of the other elbow. And then if it feels good to do so, add that little side bend. Nice. Lift up with control, release that arm, take a couple of good swings of your arms in and out. And then we're going to take the left arm across the body, grab the back of the arm, drop your shoulder down. Once you've got that shoulder in position, take a couple of nods of your head up and down. Beautiful. And then bring your head to neutral, release, and take it to the other side. Bring the arm across, grab the back of the arm, drop the shoulder down. Once you've got that locked in place, lift and lower your head. Nice. One more lift and lower of your head. And then bring your head to neutral, release your arms, maybe swing them out one more time. And you guys are all done. Awesome work. Grab your Pilates ball if you're sticking around. Amazing job.